site, tell me and everybody at home what marketing is done to get people to know about the auction. How does that work? I know it worked. I mean, I know what I did, so why don't we tell everyone at home what's involved?
Well, you undertook a big marketing campaign, and so do we. So we have a joint marketing campaign. We put our heads together, like we had many meetings. Yes. And you do what you do best at your good marketing, and we do our marketing. You carry on doing your mail outs, your newspapers, your TV, and we did radio, we did internet. We're very technology driven. We put the houses out to Europe, to all over the country. We put the house onto different search engines. And every time we take a property that on our website for sale, it automatically gets uploaded to our European affiliations. And through that upload, it automatically goes on to 10 plus European search engines in France, Germany, and United Kingdom. And those homes get that extra exposure.
Okay, now let's talk about that. And I want you to jump in 1 second. So by embracing a strong realtor, they're doing the promotion for their individual properties that are going to auction. You're doing your online marketing of the actual auction and all of the properties. You're doing general marketing to get people to come into this competitive environment. So let's talk about, we're at the auction now. And I remember going to it, and there were flat screen TVs everywhere, and it was just set up beautifully. I was very, very impressed. And for everybody at home, I wish, and you'll see some visuals on the show today, it was just, I mean, it was even better than I thought it would be, because, I mean, you had flat screen TVs, and the bid was going up, and it was a very exciting environment. And I think what we talked about ultimately will happen, and that's maybe getting to that eBay concept of that this is not a distressed environment, is that, yes, maybe the market's a little weaker and the connotation of going to auction is that it's foreclosure or government seized properties and therefore you're getting a great deal. But what Jeffrey always brings up to me is that the market really determines what a house should sell for. So let's talk about that environment and how the seller can benefit and how the buyer can benefit.
Sure. You know, I think as we all know right now, we're very much in a buyer's market. And people always ask me the question as to why buy at auction? And the main reason that we encourage everybody to bring their clients to our auction platform is that we set a competitive market to bid on every single property. And instead of second guessing the value of your client's asset, we allow the market to determine where the value should lie. So every single person that ultimately registers to bid is able to bid in an open and transparent environment where they're able to do their due diligence prior to the auction and then be able to know exactly the type of number they want to bid to and have that opportunity to do so, and are able to see bids both locally, on the floor, from the overseas clientele that are bidding live. And this is all happening real time at our auction events.
Well, I'll tell you, one thing that I noticed that I kind of found out after the auction, which I thought was exciting, was there was one particular property that it was a standard model by a developer. Some subdivisions, they have 2 or 3 of the same model. That person who was up north knew the exact floor plan they wanted. They were able to look at all the pictures online through their realtor. And while someone else was bidding on it live, that person, I don't know if they were, I think they were in New York or New Jersey, they were actually bidding from up north.
They could be sitting at their laptop, at their desktop, anywhere in the Hamptons, in New York, in Manhattan, wherever they might be.
Property, but I know someone ended up buying it. But it was very interesting that this technology world that we're in, that you had a person sitting in the room bidding for themselves, you had a person probably sitting in their underwear in front of the TV with their laptop bidding on a property they wanted. And I just think that with the world expanding with the computers and the internet and technology, now we've taken a very localized market, because I always used to feel, you could only see properties if you were in the market. Now the world has changed so much that this type of platform allows bidding from wherever you are if you know what you want to bid on, and certainly if you do your due diligence to be able to bid.
Elliot, the one thing I really want to add there is that can only really take place realistically in an environment where the realtor is paramount to the transaction.
Sure.
So with Auction Prop, the realtor plays a very key part in this whole process, wherever you're bidding from, whether it's from the Hamptons or from London, the realtor is actively involved in the process from beginning to end.
And your realtor helps you determine a value that you should bid to and the right property. He often visits, he or she, exactly,
Sure.
goes to the home, visits it, inspects it for you and says, you know what, this is exactly what you're looking for, this is the model, I think it's worth X, Y, Z, bid on it. The auction is Saturday, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Get in front of your computer, log on, you get a password from us, and off they go.
All right, let's go to the next part. They're bidding at the auction, they're holding up the little signs, which I thought was very cute, because I'd never been to an auction, so you know, everyone's holding the things, so I thought that was great with the numbers, yeah. What I want to know is, someone wins the bid.
Yes.
And I want to wrap up this segment because I want to get to the final segment, but tell everybody at home, briefly, they bid on the property, what is the mechanics of from that point to closing? And how does that benefit the buyer and the seller?
Sure. Elliot, all our auctions are subject to seller confirmation. And the reason that it is that way is that we never want to put a client in a situation where they have to give away their home. We believe that this is the honest way of doing business. The market ultimately is able to determine fair value. So every property is sold subject to seller's confirmation.
Okay, so from when that person says, I'm ready to buy it, they've left their deposit when they became a successful bidder, the property usually closes within 30 days, contingency free.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So it's an as-is, where-is contract, and the house closes in 30 days.
Okay, I think, all right.
And Elliot, you know,
one last thing?
Yes, I think, you know, what it's all about, it's the real deal. We have sellers that are not simply testing the market. These are serious sellers with real properties, free and clear of any title issues. The sellers are committed to selling the property, and buyers know by purchasing property at auction prop is that they're getting the real deal.
Well, you know, that is what I found when I went to the auction, and I think, you know, I've always tried to be very forward thinking, and I think that nothing stays the same forever. So you have to embrace what are the traditional means of doing something, and as the world changes, you have to change with it. And I think this is a fundamental, extremely great way to market properties, embracing traditional real estate, but kind of moving forward. And I'm very excited about it, and I'm glad that we're able to, you know, to explain to everybody at home about the concept. So I'm really excited about our final segment. And when we come back, we're going to really talk about what's the current environment, what are the reasonable expectations about taking your home to auction, and you know, this concept's been really exciting. So I'm Elliot Koolik, and I'm glad you tuned into Real Estate Today. Hi, I'm Elliot Koolik with Koolik Group Realty, and I'm here with a friend of mine, Harvey Dubov, with Remax Realty, and I just want to get Harvey's feelings about why he felt maybe auction prop is a good way to go.
Yeah, it's a great concept. It's good for sellers, and it's the new wave. Auctions are the new wave, I feel, in the industry, and it's turning out to be a very good process for sellers and buyers.
I think also one great thing about this is an additional marketing tool that we can use to get realistic sellers and buyers together. So it's the first auction we've both been at, and I think you know, the concept is phenomenal. I think the presentation is dynamite. And I think, you know, real estate brokers like Harvey and myself can certainly benefit from using their service.
Absolutely. Agree with you. Great.